Yeah.
My
So,
bad,
all
just
right. I'm just real quick, man. I got to switch lanes, man. This hasn't even got to do with sports, and I apologize. But there's something that is going on in the world right now that is just driving me up the wall, and it's sickening. And actually has direct effect with my job. So, for those of y'all that don't know, and I really don't care that people know, I am a school guardian. A school guardian is essentially the guy on campus that keeps the kids safe. Right? I don't write tickets. I don't do anything. I carry a weapon and I am there for one reason and one reason only, and that is to put down a threat that comes to shoot or do harm to children while I work. And it has been absolute pure madness these last few, this last month and some change since school has started, man. The amount of threats that have come in are absolutely crazy. And last night, I was directly affected by it. It was crazy at school, putting fear into people to maybe get a day off or because you think it's funny. Because a lot of these threats have come out to be fake, man. Our sheriff has put out that we had to spend $21,000 in one day to investigate the amount of resources and people that we had to put together to find out who these people are that are throwing out these threats. That is insane, boys. Think about that. $21,000 for one day's of work to try and figure out who is putting out who are these people putting these threats, and we're holding them accountable. We're not that kind of county where we're not holding people accountable. We're jailing these kids. There's an 11-year-old currently in jail because he threatened a school. Come on, man. Like, we got to do better as a country, dude, because we are looking like we got some serious egg on our face, man. And it sucks, man, because I got a lot of kids that I care for on this campus. There's a lot of people that I care for, the students, the staff, everybody. We all care for each other. And to see people scared or people not show up to school just because somebody is taking it as a joke and they want to be out there and be like, oh, yeah, here's a threat that I'm going to shoot up this school. That's sickening, man. We got to stop, man. Parents have got to be more aware and more involved in these kids' lives, man. Like me personally, I make sure that my kids, they are not allowed to play Xbox during the week, bro. No Xbox, right? You got the weekend and you can play. But if we're doing something, guess what? You're not playing your Xbox. And we try and have something done every weekend. My kids don't have cell phone. My kids, their cell phones get turned off at my kids' cell phones get turned off at 7:00. That's my wife behind me.
shout out
My
Coach's
kids'
wife.
cell phones at 7:00, they get turned in. We sit down and we have a family meal together every night. Every night we have a family meal and we break bread and we make sure that we're talking to each other and there's no cell phone afterwards. Maybe these are things that we need to start incorporating, man. Like, it sucks. It's hard, man. Like, I'm a big guy. Listen, I'm intimidating, but even me, I get worried. I work hand in hand with a deputy. So me and him work together all day long, and we spent a crazy amount of time checking and making sure that the kids today were safe. And we ended up finding out that it was a ghost text, essentially. It led to nothing. So it sucks that we had to do all that. And I mean, I know this ain't sports. I know da 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 da. I don't want to get political. I'm not trying to get political, but man, let's fucking get these kids in line, bro. It is bad. I feel bad for these freaking teachers. It sucks and it's not good. And it's getting to the point where we're going to have to metal detect freaking doors and gates and all this crazy stuff. It's bad, man. Like, why do we have to get to this point? Parents, parent, please. That's all
It's
I'm asking.
crazy, and the crazy part is it's nationwide right now.
It's not just here in Florida.
Let's say, just yesterday, one of the school districts here had a serious threat. They sent all the kids home, and then all the other schools had to send out a message saying that there's a social media threat. It started from there, and they had a list of schools. So it's like this year has been crazy, and we're not even that far into it.
It's bad, man. It is insanely bad. And again, I hate to sit here and beat this horse, but man, we gotta parent our kids better. We got to parent our kids better. I appreciate you, man. I being a substitute teacher, that sucks. That's a tough job. That is a tough job. And I make sure that my kids know that they're safe, man. And I'm not trying to brag here, but I shoot perfect at the range every time. I was in the Marine Corps, I was infantry, I did my thing, and I take my job very serious, and I make sure that my kids are safe and my staff is safe, and they know that. When I'm on campus, I don't play games, man. I walk around all day. I make sure that the doors are locked. I make sure people are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Like that is our number one goal. That's what I do appreciate. The county that I live in, we have guardians. We also have deputies on campus. We also have our panic buttons. We're actually pretty, which is crazy to say, we're pretty proactive. And I love that about where I'm at. I feel safe with where I'm at. Now, I've had to pull out all my kids out of school because of these stupid threats, because no matter how safe you are, you just never know. So it's crappy. And I hate to bum it down. We can go back to football, but I just had to give my 2 cents, man. That's why we had to push the show back. We had some stuff that I had to deal with today. It's just been nutty. I needed to clear the brain a little bit and just kind of chill.
Hey, you're all good, Coach. We appreciate you.
It's a very, very hot subject right now. Like I said, it's happening everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's happening everywhere in America, bro. It's not happening everywhere.
Yeah. Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah, that's the fucking worst part about the whole situation. Like, it's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Absolutely. Well, Coach, like we said, we appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what sucked, because that Falcons game, I was actually interrupted by phone calls because we have this thing called Fortify Florida, and it's an anonymous tip line. And I have a work cell phone, and at 10 o'clock at night, my phone's going off, and it's tips that it's my school, da 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 da. And then what the crazy part was, it's now like 10:20 ish. Somebody knocks on my door. So I go to take a shower. I'm in the shower, and I'm chilling. My wife goes, open the door. Well, doesn't open the door. I've taught, we don't open the door. She looks out the peephole. She says, just some dude standing up against the wall, arms crossed, white shirt. She couldn't tell if it was white dude, Hispanic. It was, it was a lighter skinned person, and asked, who is it? And the person says, is Coach Saul there? So she runs over to me. Meanwhile, I'm getting these phone calls from my job that there's this stuff going on, runs over to me and goes, babe, somebody just asked for you. And within 30 seconds of him knocking, her asking, and her coming to get me, I was at the front door and I had my gun in my hand. Obviously, it was more behind me, because who the hell is knocking on my door at 10 o'clock at night asking for me? Any of my players, previous players, they all have my number. You call me. So I go, dude's completely gone. Completely gone. So I go outside. I check down the street, nothing. Check down the other street, nothing. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? My wife's over here creating a movie in her head. They're here to take you out before you go to school. And I'm like, okay, listen, like, let's relax. It's not that serious, but it's scary. You know what I'm saying? And it even had me a little concerned. So I had everybody in my room that night. We all, the kids made pallets on the floor, and we all just stayed in my room because I knew that's where I could protect them at all times. That sucks. That sucks.
You shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do that for sure.
Absolutely not.
Y'all don't have that like Ring doorbell system by any chance, or like cameras in the house?
It was dead. Oh, it had died that day, and now I can't even get it to charge. I think it's broken. So, got to figure that out.